Hi everybody, I'm Dr. M. You guys have sent in some great questions and I'm excited to start answering them for you. Let's start with question number 1. How did coronavirus become a virus? That is a really good question and a little bit complicated to answer. There are lots and lots of different kinds of viruses in the world. Some of these viruses cause cold symptoms. Some of these viruses cause something like a flu. Some of these viruses just cause a stomach ache. There are 7 different types of coronavirus. 4 of those types are pretty common and cause a cold, like a regular cold, that we would just say, oh, I have a cold. And it could be one of those 4 common coronaviruses. There are 3 types of coronavirus that cause a more severe flu. The new coronavirus that you guys have heard about that was just discovered is one of the 3 types that causes this flu. It's a new type of virus that probably came from one of the old types of viruses. The thing about viruses though is that they can change all the time. They change, they mutate, they transform, and they can infect people in different ways and cause different kinds of symptoms. That's why every year a brand new flu vaccine comes out, and your doctor probably tell you, I recommend that you get the flu vaccine this year. A new one comes out every year because the influenza virus changes every year. Well, this brand new coronavirus became a virus because it transformed in some way and became something new that no human being had ever seen before. Is that good? Question number 2. Why is there a drink named after coronavirus? There is actually no relation between the drink and the coronavirus. The word corona in Spanish means crown, and it's called coronavirus because the virus itself is like a big circle with lots of these things sticking out of it. Somebody looked at that and thought that the thing sticking out sort of looked like a crown, and so they called it coronavirus. Now, on to question number 3. Why is it called COVID-19? So, COVID-19 is actually the name of the disease that you get from coronavirus. And it's broken up into parts like this. C-O stands for corona. V-I stands for virus. And D stands for disease. It's got a 19 on it because it was first discovered in December 2019. That's it. Question number 4. How did coronavirus spread so quickly? That is a really good question. And it's actually kind of a math problem. So coronavirus spreads from person to person through contact with the droplets that come out of our mouth or out of our nose. On average, someone who's infected with coronavirus might spread it to 2 or 3 people. So take a look at this. If one person, has coronavirus here, and they spread it to 3 people, this person, their brother, their best friend, their Auntie Joe, and then those 3 people spread it to 3 other people, their family, their friends, their pastor, their teacher, the grocery store person, all these other people in the community, you end up having these guys all infected, and then each of them are infecting 3 other people, and it's a mess. I don't even have enough board to show more people getting infected. And that was only when it spread through just a couple of people. Now imagine that this person who's infected travels to Washington, D.C. Imagine this person is going to New York. And so they're continuing to spread this virus all over the world. And that has resulted in the situation that we're currently in. Now, the amazing thing is right now you all are home, we're on this quarantine, and why are we doing that? Why does that make any difference? So let me see. Let's go back to Auntie Joe up here. Let's say she stayed home, she wasn't around anybody, and she therefore did not get sick here. They did not pass the virus over from this first person. Well then, none of these people get sick. None of them, right? Because they didn't catch it from ultimately this person up here. So that's why we're all stuck at home right now in this isolation period. It's so that we prevent as many people as possible from spreading this virus. That's it. So I talked a little bit about this earlier, but a couple of you have sent some really great questions asking about how coronavirus spreads. I'm gonna read them for you. So one of you asked, is it true when someone coughs, you get coronavirus? Another one asked, if someone sneezes and I walk by them, could I catch the virus? And then a third person asked, what things could coronavirus be on? These are all excellent questions, basically asking, how does coronavirus spread? So going to the first question, if someone coughs, could I get coronavirus from them? Maybe is the answer. If that person had coronavirus and they coughed and you breathed in some of the spit droplets that shoot into the air, they might have coronavirus, and then potentially it could spread that way. If that person coughs and they don't have coronavirus, then you can't catch coronavirus from anything that they're coughing, okay? They would have to have coronavirus for you to get it. Same with a sneeze. Sneezing isn't a very common symptom that people have with this virus, but it can happen. If someone randomly sneezes around you and they aren't infected with coronavirus, then you cannot catch coronavirus from that sneeze. But if they did have coronavirus and they sneezed and you breathed in, again, some of the spit that they shot into the air with that sneeze, then you could potentially get coronavirus. The question about what things coronavirus could be on, we also don't know for sure how long coronavirus can live on objects. Your mom has been telling you to wash your hands for years and years, and that's because there's bugs on everything. There's viruses, there's bacteria on everything. And so we wash our hands before we eat, and to prevent those things from going into our mouth, going into our nose. Coronavirus is the same way, like other viruses, so it can potentially be on surfaces. So the trick with that is to make sure that you wash your hands really frequently. Be mindful when you go out and you touch doorknobs, if you're going to the grocery store and you touch things around the aisle, if you touch items along the conveyor belt, just remember to wash your hands. You can use soap and water, just like regular, or you can also use the Purell alcohol. That works too. Both of those things can kill this virus. And that's it. Hey y'all, this is my dog, Miss Marple. One of you guys asked an excellent question. Does coronavirus affect animals? That's a really great question that a lot of people have been asking. And the answer is yes and no, and maybe we don't know which ones. Coronavirus definitely affects some animals. The reason that this virus even came into existence in the first place, like when I was talking about mutation earlier, is because viruses, certain viruses, can mutate better when they bounce between humans and animals. And the process of a virus trying to infect a human and then trying to infect an animal changes that virus and can make a brand new virus. That is how coronavirus came to be, this new one. It was bouncing between humans and certain animals. The question remains though, do those animals feel symptoms? Maybe, maybe not. And which animals does it affect? So right now, some people are thinking that it was really bouncing between humans and bats. The question of whether it affects our pets, of whether it affects dogs or cats or birds or your iguana, that we really aren't sure about. Dogs don't seem to have symptoms from the virus, from their pet owners, but that's as far as we can see so far, and we don't know much about this virus yet. So there's still a lot to learn. All right, guys, 2 more questions. One of them is, why does coronavirus testing take way too long to process? That is a good question, and we're working on solutions for that. So the reason it's taken a long time for tests to come back, you may have heard about that in the news, is because there's so many people needing tests, and we can only run so many tests at a time, so that they get backed up. And the backup is what takes a long time. It's all the tests sitting in line, waiting to run through the machine to spit out an answer. Right now, hospitals are developing new tests all the time. So the last time I sent a coronavirus test, it only took 6 hours for it to come back, which isn't so bad. We're making faster tests. The last question for tonight is, will COVID-19 be seasonal? That is a really interesting question. You must be thinking about the flu virus, which has seasonality, like you said. It comes up in the winter and pretty much goes away in the summertime. Coronavirus, the common ones, the 4 common ones I talked at the beginning that cause the cold, are also seasonal viruses. They mostly affect people in the wintertime, and they pretty much go away in the summertime. As far as this virus being seasonal, it has We have more to learn, but we're thinking that it probably has some seasonal component. The difficulty right now is that nobody has seen this virus before and nobody really has immunity to it. So right now it's spreading pretty rapidly because our bodies have no immunity to this virus yet. As more people get it, and as we work on developing a vaccine for it, then less people will have it, and we might start seeing a seasonality to it, where more people get it in the winter and less people get it in the summer. Let's see, we're at the beginning of April now, and it is everybody's hope that as the weather continues to warm up, we go into May and we go into June, we're hoping that less people catch this virus, or if people even do catch it, that they have less severe symptoms because the weather is nice and warm. But we'll see. Thank you guys for your great questions today. Remember, wash your hands, avoid large groups of people, and be nice to everybody in your house because it's hard to be stuck inside. You guys sent in really excellent questions. They're the same questions that scientists are asking around the world. So keep up with the curiosity. You're doing a great job.